All right, everybody, we are back. Welcome back to Open Spaces. Just Jourdan and I today talking. It's May, which is crazy. We've entered May, which is, I feel like every, especially mom's favorite month with the ending of school.
We
and
love
the ABC,
us in May.
And the ABC countdown and all the playoffs, all culminating
You know what's the
once.
best is when the ABC countdown at the same school is different for each grade. And if
you're a
you
mom,
don't
you get
know what this means, that means that every day, the
Talk
last
about
26 days of the year, there's something different that's really fun that you get to do or celebrate. Like
Who's it fun
P
for?
is
For you?
Popsicle Day and E is Earth Day and, these kinds of things.
K is Kaleidoscope Day, but it wasn't a Kaleidoscope Day for our daughter. It was something else because it was different.
Exactly.
In the
So
different grades.
when the grade levels have different ABC countdowns, that is just it's a real shame.
And the playoffs of all the sports, and you're wrapping up all of the stuff for the spring.
Yeah.
So would you say this is your favorite time of year?
Man, it's tough.
All you moms out there, give us a shout out.
Yeah, it's funny that this is Mother's Day month when this is what is expected.
Yeah.
I guess.
And on Mother's Day,
They just want us to feel good about ourselves in the midst of it all.
And you have on Mother's Day, you have the playoff for baseball for our son.
Yes.
Like that's what we're going to do.
If he makes it all the way, which then we will have a championship game on Mother's Day. But
he's really great at baseball.
He is good.
It's just maybe his team won't. So we are in May. We are the month of Mother's Day.
Yep.
We have decided that our next series is
parenting.
Why would we do parenting? So many parents have written in, just with their kids who struggle, whether that is same-sex attraction or it's something else, or just trying to figure out how to parent their kids.
Right.
And we have a strong belief that our family unit is the most important thing to us. It trumps everything else. It's
right. Jesus,
then our family. And so investing in our kids, figuring that out. We want to be great parents. We are in the middle of it. We're learning.
That's right.
What was it that we heard the other day that somebody said while we're raising, we were at we'll talk about where we were, but while we're raising our kids, God's raising us.
Yeah.
And that's just a really great line to think about. That we are all learning.
Relief.
It's a relief
that he's still working on us in the midst of all that.
Yeah. So we ironically we're just at a mother retreat. That if I just side note, we just have to talk about it. If you don't know about intentional parenting, and then these amazing people out of Bend, Oregon, Brooke and Elizabeth Moser, you should know about them because they are doing phenomenal things.
Yes.
And we got to be partnered with them.
Brooke was on our podcast a few episodes ago, so you might have heard his story, and a little bit about intentional. But this retreat was one of the best things that we've ever been a part of. I mean, it was so authentic and pure, and we felt valued, but we also felt so ministered to. So it was awesome. So yeah, check out all their resources. Their podcast is awesome, and they have events that you can attend. So you should definitely.
And there's another just a shameless plug. There's another motherhood retreat coming up in Portland that we'll be leading worship
in the fall.
Check
it out,
which is going to be amazing. So go check them out. Incredible, all that stuff. But we're stepping into this parenting series. And we decided that today we would kick off parenting series as it is the week of Mother's Day, and we're stepping into Mother's Day on Sunday, and it is bittersweet.
Yeah.
We always talk about this in our church, how it's bittersweet for so many people and different reasons. Everyone's experience is different. But especially for us, it's year 3 of my mom being gone, and this is a few months since your mom's been gone. So this is your first Mother's Day without her.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we would honor our moms today.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about our moms and honor them, and what how we'll get in it, but how we felt loved by them and what they did. And we have Kleenexes, just full disclaimer, we have Kleenexes in our pockets.
Right. I got mine right here, just at the ready.
just in case, because we do, it's all very raw and tender.
I mean, I'm brand new in this stage of my grief of the actual losing her, but you are still new too. I mean, it's only been a few years, and I feel like you still can feel like it's very fresh.
Oh, there's nothing that will make me cry quicker than talking about her being gone.
Yeah. But I love when you suggested this was your idea to kind of jumpstart our parenting series, just honoring our moms as Mother's Day is approaching. I thought that was a very cool idea and very special. And we just want to be in line with what we're doing here at Open Spaces with trying to have vulnerable conversations. And so doing this in the midst of our grief feels very vulnerable. I mean, and even thinking, I don't know what I will feel like in a couple of months. And if, and honestly, what I thought about when you said it, I was like, I don't know if that's even a good idea, in this point, but I do love the idea. And since we have this opportunity in this platform, like to get the chance to honor our moms who did not have big platforms and who did not, weren't necessarily well known in the world, but amazing women. So I'm excited to get to do this today.
Yes. Well, why don't we start off with just talking through, let's start with your mom and start with, see how what I'm doing. I'm putting it on you first.
That's so rude.
Like, I have an idea. Let's honor our moms. You first.
Wow.
But just to kind of catch, if people are just like, they haven't listened to anything in the last couple weeks, I will say Jordan's mom just passed away of cancer. She, would you like to explain it, or would you like for?
Sure. She had cancer, breast cancer, many years ago. And then she had surgery, did chemo and radiation, and she was cancer free. And then it came back 3 years ago. She had a chronic cough and went to get a chest X-ray to see what was going on, and then learned that there was a tumor at the base of her trachea, where her trachea and lung meet. And it was the same cancer. It was breast cancer, but it showed up here at this time. And she had multiple spots. So it was immediately, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And so we knew metastatic breast cancer that was already, in her organs, and she had a couple spots in her bones. We knew that it was terminal from the beginning. So for the last 3 years, we have been, our family has been in a grief process of just wondering and waiting. And she went on oxygen pretty soon after that diagnosis. So she was on oxygen for the last 3 years of her life, basically. So there was always, a very present reminder of what was happening in her body. And she just kind of gradually declined. It was very slow at first, the decline, but then the past year, things kind of progressed more quickly, and especially in the past 6 months. So, we got to be with her in her final days, and that was excruciating and beautiful. Yeah. And we all got to be at her side when she passed. Yeah. All the kids, all of her 4 kids, our spouses, and my sister's son, and it was really beautiful. Yeah. It was, we got to worship around her after she had gone on hospice. We went down as a family, and as the decline happened, Jordan stayed there. And then I came back when a few days later, just got the kids settled. But what was amazing was just that we worshiped around her. I had my guitar. We sang. We were singing "What a Beautiful Name," this incredible worship song, as she passed. And then we just kept worshiping. Yeah. And we kept worshiping to the bridge. Death could not hold you. And it was crazy. I mean, just watching your family around her just continue to worship and sing and worship through it. But I think that's it's a great place to start, because that's the legacy that she left. That's right.
so she like built, she was the foundation of your family. I mean, you have you have two brothers, a sister, mom, dad, who are very close. Your parents had been married for 47 years, right? I think it was 47 years they had been married. Wasn't perfect, but man, they had built, they were known in the church. They had stayed in the same church all over their life. That's where her celebration of life was, and it was unbelievable, like the amount of people that came and the stories. But in that moment, when someone is heading to heaven and those last final breaths, when we are standing around worshiping, and her kids all love Jesus, they all know him, they love him, and it's so authentic and real. Like that is the legacy that she left.
That's
so
right.
that's the first thing to say, like she cared about that. She cared that her family knew Jesus, that they trusted him. She lived by that. She lived that example. So it was incredible. Like, I mean, that to watch that all culminate was very awesome as a son-in-law, to watch my mother-in-law build what she has built. So with that in mind, I want to ask you, what are some of the things that you feel like your mom did, that, I don't know, for the moms listening, like what was her legacy built on? What was the things that, simple or big or family things, that she would have, that you watched?
All of us kids would say and have said at her memorial service that we just knew how loved we were. I mean, she loved us so much. We were her biggest priority. And she did that it was simple. She took care of our needs. She made sure that we were well fed and that we had great snacks and that we got to our baseball and softball practices. And she taught us how to save money. She was always like looking for a budget or like a budget find. And with having 4 kids, I mean, it was always like, how are we going to make everything last and get the most bang for our buck? And she was so fun and funny. I mean, oh
my gosh.
I think I was trying to
humor
remember.
Was definitely
oh my gosh.
I mean, I would say that was one of her biggest marks.
Right. Everyone knows that about her.
Yeah.
And everybody loved that about her. She kind of had this very sharp wit, sometimes kind of irreverent, and she would surprise you.
She'd cuss a little bit.
She would cuss a little bit when it was the right time.
And often it was the right time around me.
Absolutely. For sure. She would like snipe you with her jokes, which is awesome. Very smart. She was very smart. Had a great, she loved to read. She had a great vocabulary.
This is where you get it. This is why all of the random words that you say that I'm like, I don't know what that means. Just say something else because I'm dumb.
It makes me think about this moment and I wish I would have remembered the word, but she said something when we were growing up, and I think that most of us were teenagers, and my brother Buddy we were talking, and she said something, and Buddy was like, what does that mean? Like, what does that word mean? And she defined it with another word. And he was like, why didn't you just say that? I just always remember that because I'm like, well, because she had a better word for it.
But for us dumb people, we cannot do that. So just stop trying to be smart.
But maybe you can learn some new words.
I don't want to. I want to do podcasts. I want to lead worship. I want to have other things going. I don't want to sit and read words.
It's fun to learn new words.
I want to be smart, and I should read more. Anyways, that's not the point. Go back to your mom.
Well,
she was smart.
Yeah,
she
but
was
I think
a reader.
because of how smart she was, it made her even funnier because it would just sharpen her wit, which is awesome. And I guess as a teenager is when I really learned that she was funny, and my friends would laugh at her. She would make us laugh, and it's not like she was some kind of class clown type, but she was just like in conversation, like she would just kind of keep you on your toes. So that was amazing. And then I remember, as I got into my teenage years, middle school was the first time I really felt close with her, like relationally close, like more than just like she's my mom and she takes care of me. It was just a classic Mean Girls situation in 7th grade. These girls humiliated me in front of a lot of people.
I hate them.
And, oh man. And
I'm going to hurt them.
Made me feel like it was one of those things. Anyone who remembers middle school can probably feel this in their stomach. And like, I feel it in my jaw right now. It's just like so tense. But just that, like, I don't know if I'm going to have any friends anymore. So I called her. It was like in the middle of a class. It was this moment that they just like embarrassed me, humiliated me, and like basically told me they didn't want to be my friend anymore. And they were the girls with all the power. So I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to like me anymore. I called my mom from school and asked her to come get me. And she did. And she brought me home, and I don't even remember what happened from there, but she was just there when I needed it. And man, it was exactly what I needed. And I learned in that situation, she's here. She's here for me no matter what. And I felt like, I just remember feeling, even if I don't have any friends, I have my mom and I'm going to be okay. And she helped me lean into the Lord in that season when I felt lonely. And it was really a foundation builder for me, that moment. And she would go on to do more of that kind of thing. When you and I were shaky and when we broke up, she was so present with me. Even though I lived in Dallas, she lived in Florida. I remember coming home for Thanksgiving one year, and we had broken up, and I was very sad and just felt very lonely and just insecure and just so sad. And I drove in, I got home at night, and she opened the door and she just opened her arms and I just hugged her, and that's all I needed. And she just let me sit there in her arms and cry. And I love that she was very wise. She had a lot of wisdom, and she has offered so much wisdom to so many young women. And, but she didn't try to fix my problems. And she would offer wisdom, but it was subtle. It was succinct. It was true. She would always give me truth, but she didn't try to make me do something. She didn't try to like fix it for me or act like she knew the solution, which is like, I want to be that way as a mom. I want to be the kind of mom that is like just present and doesn't try to fix everything. I also will try to fix. I'm just saying, like, you and me both do this.
Oh, no, it's about Father's Day is next month.
But
we're talking about my weaknesses next month.
But I will try to like come up with a solution in my mind, and it's all I can do to like pull back on that. But I just want to remember, because of her example, like, you can just be there. And she was such a safe place with as she began to know more about our story, and I could tell she was really concerned for me, but she didn't withhold anything from you.
That is, yes.
And she didn't, I don't know, she wasn't like, she was still kind and loving to you. And
always.
And I would notice that with other people too. Like, she could be kind and generous, even when there was tension in a space, but she loved you so much. And I think even though like in the shakier times in our relationship and the back and forth, she would express concern. Sometimes she didn't talk about it a ton, but I know she loved you so much. So when we did decide to get married, and when we got engaged, it was like so fast after we'd gotten back together. We wanted to get married really soon after that. And she was just in for it. And I knew she was confident in the Lord. I knew she was confident in us and that we could do it. And how did I know that? It's just something about like those intangible kinds of things where she's just like, she's up for it. She has shown us her love. She's shown you her love. She is so clearly, you guys got along so well. And you gave her a nickname that was just for y'all. And I'm so grateful for that. Like that is something, the way that she could show support with just that kind of quiet, present tone and love. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. Staying on the fact that she accepted me, I think it would be interesting if one of our kids walked through what, like, let's say our daughter Aiden, if she went through what you went through with 3 big breakups, heartbroken, I would have a hard time with that guy. And I'm not saying she didn't have a hard time with me, but I never knew it.
I never knew it. She could have said anything behind your back to me in a private, and she didn't.
Yeah, she never. She truly. The only thing I know is that she kept saying, "You're my son." So she said that without any hesitation, even in the moment that, like, after the 10-year saga, and I went when I was like, I want to propose. I went and met with your parents in Florida. I went and sat down. And she cried when I asked, like, I would like to ask Jourdan to marry me. And I just want to make sure y'all feel okay with this. She cried, but she was just so happy. And even when she found out about like my whole, like my struggle and all of my mess, like I don't ever remember a time of feeling like she was like, I don't know about this, or I don't know, I question you, or, and it's like what you're saying. It's the intangible thing of, it was so kind and loving, but it wasn't like necessarily like, I think as parents, we're always looking for something. What do we do? How do we say it?
Right.
What's the right thing? And it goes back to what you were saying, that you knew she was present. You knew her arms were open and that she was loving and kind. And that really did like show us who she was. Yes. And make us feel loved and accepted. And I felt accepted by her from the entire time. So, and I loved that her and I had something. I mean, I just value humor, and sometimes I'm crass in my humor, sometimes, but I never had to filter around your mom.
How cool is that?
Huh?
How cool is that?
I was always who I was around her. Never like, oh, Barb's is here and I need to like change anything. I mean, the things I'd say, and she would always laugh and she would always like snicker, even if like, or shake her head if it was too much, but it was always, but she always laughed, and she was just incredible in that. And the other thing that I remember as we're talking about in our relationship is I remember it was harder for your dad in moments, that he again was like so loving and kind to me. So not that, but just, I know that for him, as it will be for me, very hard to like accept this guy that like, get your life together. And it's like, it's a challenge for dads, like to like, when you have a daughter and you're like, who is this guy stepping into my world? But I always remember her kind of being a buffer for that too. Yeah. She was always kind of a buffer and like helping your dad. Just, I always felt like when I think about it, I picture her hand on his shoulder, just like, it's okay. Like let me help you understand. And, and always extending grace. So, that's what I remember about her and our relationship, which is crazy because that's another random or another miraculous story for me. Yeah. That how I received grace, because I've received grace. People know what you've done for me, but that really flowed from your mom to you to show you that. And then for you to, and you are so much like your mom. I mean, I think you are extremely like your mom, like what you love, like reading, and you are really smart, and all of these things that are just characteristics of your mom that I see in you, that honestly is amazing to think that our kids get that, because I love what you got. And so now our kids get that because of her, through you. And I've thought about that often, like even at her celebration of life, I was like, it's always like people say, well, your legacy lives on in their kids, or, and I'm like, but I think it's real time tangible for me to see that, how you love the way that she does. Our kids know that you're present, and they adore you, and your humor, your laugh is the same. Like you laugh the exact same way. So they'll always have that. And it's just so sweet, because I see all those things instilled in you that now our kids get that. And one day when they're at our celebration of life, they'll be saying the same thing, I believe, because of the legacy that she built and established in your family.
It's amazing, Jeff. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I also have to say that she laid such an amazing foundation for a thriving walk with the Lord. And she was very intentional about her relationship with the Lord. And she was never pushy about it. She was never, I don't know. And I haven't really thought about that in particular much, about how she just set the example because she did it. Because she, like, I remember her talking to me one time, and I don't know if I was in high school or college, but she was telling me she was studying for like a Sunday school lesson, because she taught Sunday school. And she was learning something in her as she was preparing for her lesson. And she came out and like was talking about it, and she was just teared up, just talking about what she was discovering about the Lord, and wanting to share that with me. And it made such a mark, because I was just like, oh my gosh, she really loves God. Like, it's not just something that she does or motions that she goes through.
Yeah.
But she like to get teared up about the Lord. Like, I don't know, that was kind of a new thing for me at that moment. And I was just so like taken aback. And she was always learning and growing, she's always reading, but she was always like trying to learn and expand even what she thought about social issues. And and we could have conversations about that. And I loved learning what she was getting to know. Like, last year, my sister and I got to take her to New York for her birthday, and that was a year ago. We got in a conversation at dinner one night, and I don't even know how we started, but it was just like, we were talking about our thoughts on some like hot button issues. And I had never heard her perspective before. And I think it was a newer perspective, but I was just like fascinated by it, and I loved it. I loved hearing from her, and it was just very humble. And
was it on same-sex attraction?
it was a brand new perspective. She really came a long way. No, it was not on that.
Okay.
But anyway, I just loved how she was always learning and growing.
Yeah. And
she was always trying to learn how everything lined up with her faith and with the gospel. And another thing that I want to mention is just like how special it was to get to celebrate her birthday this year, and have her very closest friends at her house, and me and my sister and brothers were there, and my dad, and we got to just witness her friends honoring her. And it was so special, because we were obviously all aware that she didn't have a lot longer left. And everyone just kind of briefly went around and talked about what she meant to them. And the themes were, she always accepted me for who I was, for who I am. Never felt judged. And she's so funny. And every single person said something along those lines. So it's who she was. And I'm so grateful.
Something else that was really special, I think, y'all, each sibling wrote a letter and read it to her. And it was, none of us were there. None of the in-laws, like it was just,
it was a very sacred moment.
Yes. It was just you and your brothers and sisters and her and your dad. And, what a special thing to get to do, that you got that moment to like read her a letter of what she meant to you. Those are like really big gifts.
Yes.
The last thing I just want to say about your mom is like, she also, discipleship was played out in ways that we often look in church and Christian walk of like, what's discipleship look like, and how, like, what program and how does it work? And both of our moms have done this really well. But your mom, so many young girls she worked at the church in the student ministry, and so many young women saw her as the mom that they needed in moments that their own mom couldn't show up for them. And she discipled them just by being present.
Yes.
Lunches, dinners, having them in her home, making time for them. They all knew that she made time for them, and she did that really, really well. And they were all at her celebration of life talking about like, this woman was different and changed me.
Yes.
And that was true discipleship over her lifetime. It wasn't a moment that built that.
That's
that was
right.
like a legacy of a lifetime.
Yeah, that was a lifestyle.
A lifestyle for her that it was a value that she cared about, but it was something that felt like it was part of who she was.
Yes.
It wasn't like, I'm trying to disciple somebody.
Right.
This is just who I am.
It was just real life discipleship.
Yes. She was amazing. And her legacy will continue.
That's right.
So
let's talk about your mom.
I do want to.
You said you would.
You're more strong, and I feel like I'm just going to cry.
It's okay.
Yes.
Start by talking about some of the things that she did, or the ways that you felt growing up that made you know that she was a safe place.
Yes. I think one thing that we kind of counted at the beginning on your mom that I would like to, the reason it's really, I think it's still very hard for me and my mom, is because I didn't get the long road to death that you got. It was, why don't you tell what happened?
Okay. She was taken so suddenly.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that was going to happen. She was in pretty good health. We had just seen her.
Yeah, my dad had passed 7 months earlier, and she had been coming and staying with us, and and we had just taken her on our family trip to California that summer, and it was awesome. Like I don't know, it was hard because I was figuring out how to parent in my mom in a new way.
Yeah.
Like almost
you were taking care of
her in every way, from finances to how just trying to show up for her. And I'm not saying I did great, but I was just fighting to try to help her.
Yeah.
So she had just been at our house. Like your mom had just got diagnosed. The cancer resurface had just got the diagnosis of it's back at stage 4. My mom was so upset about that because they were such good friends and close. And she had just come with us to Florida for that first weekend that we all got together after your mom was diagnosed again.
Right.
That
she
it
was
had
with
come
us.
back. And she was with us. And so she had just gone home, and then, pulmonary embolism. On a Sunday morning, just got a call that from my sister-in-law that she just literally, we were driving back from being with your mom and her diagnosis, and we're driving back to Atlanta, a couple hour drive, and got that call. She's gone. Like ambulance came to the house. She was feeling her chest and feeling weak, and ambulance came to the house and took her. And before they got to the hospital, she was gone. And so it was that moment of finding that out and crumbling and not knowing that really took me out. And it took me out for a while after that. It was really hard to be in church on Sundays because she died at 9:39 on a Sunday morning. And every time and she had her laptop open watching Passion City. And
Like she always did.
like she always did. She would always watch. She, of course, wanted to see if we were leading and if we were going to be on broadcast, but she would always watch, and she was watching it. And so like, it was really hard to be in church for a long time just because of just the remembering. So that's how my mom passed. And I feel like I'm still working through the traumatic of like, I wish I would have got more time to read her a letter or talk to her.
Right.
But you also realize when things like this happen, how short life is and what really matters. And it kind of puts things into perspective in a whole new way.
That's right.
So your question to me was, what did you ask me when I started talking about that?
Talk about the ways, what she did and how she was that made you feel safe with her.
Yeah. My mom was, it was also something very interesting that I don't remember a lot about, like what specific things she said to me, but I just knew she was always there and she was always my safe place. Yeah. And I've talked about this laying in bed as whatever age I was, which is all blurry, and 6, 7, 8 years old, laying in bed just filled with shame and guilt over the way that my mind was working and something that had happened in my life. She was my safe place. I remember going down, she was watching TV and I came in, she turned the TV off and we sat and she listened to everything I said. And I just knew she was safe. I knew she would hold me. I knew she would love me no matter what. There was it was a quiet, soft love that she always gave me that was really special to me. My dad and I's relationship was great, but it wasn't great. It was a little, I wished for more in that. And I think I leaned into my mom a lot in that. And so she was always that safe place for me. And so growing up, it's crazy how much I knew that my mom loved me. Like almost like my brother and I would like laugh and like kind of like almost make fun of it. Cause it was just like, okay, mom, we know like you love us. Like we used to, anytime we left our house, whenever we left our house and pulled out of the driveway, our kitchen had a window and there was never a time that she would not stand in the window. If she wasn't out front waving, she would always be in the window with the sign language, I love you hand up in the window waving, which as a punk teenager and growing up, you just kind of roll your eyes at that and like, gosh, mom, I just wish you wouldn't do that. We now have a sign in our house that has that hand like in it because what it means to me. And like, it's those things that like I rolled my eyes at that then like now are the most cherished things. Totally. Like, I'm like, oh, that was showing me whenever I left the house, if anything would have happened, I would have known you love me. Yes. There was never a moment that I would have doubted that, but it was more of she was always there. Like I knew she was my biggest fan, my biggest advocate. She would have killed somebody if they came against me. She would, my first fight, I remember
tell us more.
I mean, think about me fighting this kid that I was on a playground. We lived in these apartments in New Mexico and I was on a playground by myself. I had walked on this playground and I was playing and this kid came down and I don't know how, but we ended up like fist fighting and like he like was punching me and like it was like, what is happening? I don't remember why. But I came back to the apartment, told my mom, and the kid my mom found out where the kid lived. I don't know how. And we went to,
she looked him up in the yellow
we
pages.
Went to their door at this apartment and knocked on the door. And my mom like said that his mom answered the door. And she was very short, and my mom was like, said whatever she said like while I'm standing behind her.
Like height?
No, she was like short in like her response. Like she didn't open the door. She didn't ask questions.
She was afraid.
She was afraid of my mom. And like I'm sitting behind my mom, and like my mom, I remember my mom putting her foot in the door when the ladies tried to shut the door. Like she was about to shut the door. My mom put her foot in the door and was like going off on this woman about her son that had beat me up, and I'm like, I'm just in the back like, what is happening? But like that is what my beautiful. That is what my mom did. Like she would have fought, she would have hurt anyone that came at me. And
so good.
And so anyway, she was always just like the most safe place. And, but it's really interesting because like through life, like there's, with my internal struggles that were happening, it's not like I sat down and had these discussions with my mom. I didn't know how to do that. I wouldn't have like known
Right.
exactly what to say with her
Right.
or how to talk to her. I think she could handle it. I just don't think I knew how to voice that.
Right.
So, but it's just been so interesting because I just knew that she was like for me and supported me. And she hated seeing, I know that she hated seeing the torment in my life.
Yeah.
And I know that my mom, she would always text or call or write tons of notes
Yes.
that would say, I'm praying for you. And it was I knew she was always praying.
Yes. Gosh.
She prayed so much for me.
You got to find some of her, you got to read a lot of her journals after she passed away, and specifically her prayer journls. And
she spent time with the Lord every morning.
Yeah. She
had a place on the back patio that we all knew that my mom was sitting on the back patio in the morning with her Bible. I have her Bible that I read in the mornings. But she sat on that back patio every morning with her Bible and journaled. She loved Beth Moore. Man, she loved a Beth Moore Bible study.
Who did
it? I even did. Not surprising to our listeners. But my mom loved those kind of Bible studies, and she just loved the Lord. That's what I knew about her.
Mm-hmm. She also had a quiet faith, but it was so real.
It was so real
and so pure and authentic. And she believed him. She believed God.
Yes.
And she believed what he said was real and true. And her love was so Christ-like.
It was.
To everyone that she encountered, and especially to her family.
Yeah, one thing that we learned in her death was just, again, I think as parents, we're looking for ways to, what's the right way to do it or say it. And we just watched in her death and those who texted or called how she had like spoken into their life, messaged them, sent messages on Instagram to our friends of how she was showed up for them with like, I'm praying for you. Friends that were like in hard places with their marriage. We didn't know that my mom had been texting them and like praying for them, and showing up for them in so many different ways. But her discipleship was hidden, and it wasn't loud. It wasn't in front of everybody. She wasn't Beth Moore doing these Bible studies, but my mom, her faith was as equally as resilient as that. And she was strong in her faith, and she prayed for people, and she had a heart for God. So she wanted people to know him. And she did that through the messages and reaching out to women that way. And we learned that after her death, which was really special.
I love how whenever you mentioned her writing notes, and anytime she would come visit us, she would always leave a note for every single one of us, and each individual. And they were short. And
when she left,
they were like often on like Post-it notes, or maybe she would bring some note cards with her. But every one of us would get a note from her before, like when she left, and we all have them still. It just small acts of kindness that just remind you how much she loves you, and how for you she is. And she did that so well. I mean, I also, we said this about my mom towards you, but I knew how much she loved me. I mean, she loved me so much. Like, she made me know that and feel that. And I mean, I remember in our dating when I felt kind of intimidated by y'all's relationship, and like I didn't know I think that I am learning, and we haven't walked into this yet, but like a mother-son relationship has its own unique special qualities. And when another woman comes in, it's hard.
Yeah.
So
especially because my mom and I had some enmeshment issues that I'm reading about and trying to figure out. So there's like we were very close, and I can see how I was comparing you. I only knew my mom,
right?
And then I'm comparing you to her. I was like figuring that out, like how.
Well, but yes, and even and I would feel that from her as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we got into an amazing space together, and like I just knew. I mean, we got to the place where I loved spending time with her. I looked forward to texting her and calling her and sending her pictures of the kids, sending her pictures of our flowers. I mean, that was something that we always shared. She would send me pictures when her peonies were starting to bloom and when her roses would come up. And whenever we would plant something new, because I wasn't as great of a gardener as her, because we'd have new stuff every year.
Peonies were her favorite. And she man, I love them because of that.
But just, sending
I think she also
pics.
like really, I think it shifted for her when she saw with you, because when she saw how you responded to me in my struggle and how you were so gracious and loved me in spite, I think that changed her heart in a huge way towards you, that she knew there was no one better for me. I think she knew, like well,
that's definitely how she made me feel.
She knew there was no one. She was like, Jourdan's a gift from God. She knew it, and she saw it, and she believed it.
She also made you and Josh custom birthday cakes every year.
It's awesome.
And
every single year.
So whatever you were into, I remember, I feel like there was like a Cookie Monster cake when you were really little, a piano cake.
Yes, I liked Twix one year. It was the whole
thing. She made a massive Twix bar.
It was massive.
I still can't get over that one. There's pictures of a lot of them, thankfully.
But that mattered to me, and now we do.
Oh my gosh. And yes, so that's something a tradition we have adopted in our family, which is a lot to hold up to. But listen,
Jourdan, you have killed it.
I've made some amazing, a new semi-skill.
So what we're talking about is now we have, Jourdan makes a cake for our kids on their birthday every year. And I don't care about but
it has to have something to do with something that they love at the moment.
Yes. And literally today with Instagram and all of the social stuff, everybody's posting their kids' parties and cakes and stuff. And I can't tell you how much I don't care when it comes time for our kids' birthdays. If it's a cake that you have thought about them and made something, whatever it is, which you always actually really surprise me.
Thanks.
But they that our kids are growing up with that they know, like, mom's making my cake specific to what I like this year.
Yeah.
And that will continue, and that's so special. Like that's
cool. But now they're requesting Gammy's cheesecake, like her cheesecake recipe.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's fine. And it doesn't require like cutting out and icing in a certain way necessarily.
Yeah. One other memory that I have, and I think was, as a parent, I want to adopt this. I think at Christmas we this past year at Christmas, I feel like we had this whole conversation about we felt like we were fully in the rat race.
Yes.
What can we get our kids? How do we wow them? How much money can we spend? And all of our friends felt this too. And we almost missed Christmas through it. We've talked about this. Mm-hmm. One thing that my mom did every year at Christmas was she got us a kid's book, my brother and I. She got us the same book, and she would write inside of it. She wrote in her cursive writing, she wrote inside of it a note to us. But she would also then write a really long note and put it in an envelope and then put it inside the book. And so she would read that on Christmas to us. She would read this book, this kid's book that had something to do with love and how much the mother's love is. And again, just in the moments, you're kind of, as a high schooler, and she's doing that, you're kind of like, okay, what are we doing? Mom gets made fun of. I will never remember one thing she gave me. I don't remember the gifts. I won't remember those things, but I have those books and I have those letters, and it matters so much more than the stuff. Like if it was just a letter that you could write at Christmas.
Those are Priceless.
It's priceless because I go back and like when she's not here, it's like the thing that I can go read. I have something tangible like
One
to
of them
read.
fell out in the basement the other day when we were cleaning up something.
And it was the year that my dad had like lost his job and like we didn't have any money. And she says in the letter, like, hey, this year, I know this isn't much, we don't have much this year, but I want you to know. And she goes on and she says, like, one day when I'm gone, I want you to remember this about me.
She said, I'm giving you my presents.
I'm giving you my presents.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest find to randomly find. I felt like God saw me that day. I was like, oh, it was so random. It fell out of a book. And I'm like, what is this? And I read it and I'm just like, what? This is like so kind of God to give me this. Anyway, write your kids a letter and you don't have to spend a ton of money and it will go a lot further than some toy that's going to go to Goodwill in 6 months. Yeah. So anyway, my mom was very, very special. I miss her like crazy. And she was a big rock for me in my life. And it feels weird without her not here.
She was amazing. And I'm so thankful to have had her as another mom. Mm-hmm. And
we got such a gift.
To have experienced her love and to have watched her with our kids.
My gosh. Our
both
kids.
Of our moms, our kids.
There was no greater Gammy is what she was called.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way she saw our kids, the way that she made them feel, the way that she loved
I would
them.
watch her play with our kids when they were toddlers and 4 or 5, and that she could do the same exact thing over and over and over with them to see them giggle.
Yes.
I could not do that.
You're right.
As their mom.
Yeah.
I did not have that gift, but I would just watch her play with them like that and just make them just delight. And she took such delight in them. And
they were her prized possession.
Yes, truly. So thankful. So thankful that they have those memories, even though they lost both of their grandmothers so early in their lives. So thankful that they do have memories that they will be able to keep forever.
Yes.
And I also want to say, like, as we've kind of even talked about doing this episode, something that stood out to me when I just think about, like, in general, like what our moms offered us and how we both have felt by our own moms and by each other's moms, just such unconditional love, amazing presence, safety, and how that is not complicated, and how what it feels like to be a parent and how often we are toiling over what to do or what the right thing to say or the right kind of form of discipline or the right way to help our kids and what do we offer them, what activities and all this stuff. It is not actually complicated how to be a good parent. Mm-hmm. And when you think about the parents that we've had. So I want to sit in that. Mm-hmm. That just, like you're saying, just the presence, offering yourself, the hugs. I mean, it is not hard. It's hard to be a parent, but to make your kid feel safe and loved, that's actually not that hard. When it comes down to it. So
what will we miss? What do you miss most? What will you miss most this Mother's Day?
I will miss writing her a note to tell her how much I loved her and how great she was.
Yeah.
Not being able to send a card, talk to her on the day, not receiving a card from her. But I'm so thankful that I have so many that I can read. What about you?
Yeah, not being able to call, not being able to like pick the phone up and call her, tell her what she meant to me. And it's that interesting thing that we both now have, that on our phones, we have, they're pinned on top.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years. It's still pinned.
Yeah.
So I think it's just I'll miss just talking to her, just calling her and saying, Mom, thanks for what you did. So with that encouragement, we just encourage you this Mother's Day to just really, whether you've had a great mom or it's been hard, life is really short. I think we're realizing that. And we just encourage you to reach out and not let past hurts or wounds or things that you wish were different, or the regrets you have of the way that you thought about your mom for her whole life. And then she's getting older, or she's doing something annoying, or she does something with your kids that you're like, gosh, why does mom always do that with my kids? It's, you'll miss all that. It goes away really fast. And, we just encourage you to, tell your mom that it's what we said at the beginning. Yeah. As she was raising you, she was being raised by God.
Right.
And so she didn't get it right all the time. Our moms did it. Yeah. But man, it feels like they did at the end of their life when they made us feel safe and secure with love.
Yes. And
Jesus as the lead story of our families.
Right.
I also just want to, we can wrap, but I just also watching you, Jourdan, lead at the motherhood retreat this past weekend. I'm just so grateful that our kids have you. It is truly, I know you feel like you're falling short a lot of times with the way that you might snap or just have mom moments.
Yep.
But just watching you at a mother retreat and the way that you were leading worship, and that you're so gifted and incredible to lead worship. But what people don't often see in the anointing that your voice and that your life carries on a public platform is the fire that has refined you behind the scenes, through our relationship, through life, through hard things. And you've been refined in a way that now you have a boldness and a faith that is so safe and secure with people, and your voice brings healing and power as you lead people. But outside of leading in our home, our kids also feel all of those things. They feel safe. They feel secure with you. They know that you're there. And when you get it wrong, you are so quick to tell them, I'm sorry. I watched you be an incredible mom to our kids behind the scene. And I'm so grateful that you are their mom, and that your mom, her laughter, her humor, her smartness. Is that how we say it? I don't know. What's the big, we'll get a dictionary and look up a better word. Her brilliance and her wit all comes through in you to our kids. And you're a phenomenal mom to our kids. And I'm just really grateful that I get to watch it so up close and personal.
Thanks. Don't have a lot more to say, but I appreciate that very much.
This is the beginning of a parenting series. So we're in it. This is,
they won't all be like this.
Yeah, they will not all be like this. We have plans to talk about, all kinds of things, from single moms to, and to divorce and how parenting through that, to how to talk to your kids about porn. We're going in all kinds of different ways on this whole series. So hard left turn here, but we are excited to do our best with trying to speak to what we know about parenting and bring amazing people in as guests to help us all be better parents, to raise kingdom-minded children who are on a path and a purpose towards telling the world about Jesus and living for him. So we're hope that you join us on this journey. We feel like it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
But, we're so grateful that y'all have joined us yet again on Open Spaces. So thanks for being with us today. Love your mom. Go call your mom. Love her well.
See you next time.